Namaskar. A warm welcome to World News and Indian Perspective on All India Radio. This is Gaurav Sharma and with me is Renuka RS bringing glimpses of the major developments of the day from across the globe. Over the next half an hour, we shall bring you the latest from the world of politics, economy, sports, entertainment and more. The headline: India to review the decision on restarting international flights and SOPs for incoming passengers amid emergence of the new COVID variant Omicron. New cases of the Omicron coronavirus variant detected around the world. Prime Minister Narendra Modi asserts India has become a nation of job creators and not just job seekers. Curtains come down on the 52nd International Film Festival of India in Goa. Japanese film Ringborn Ring, a film which resurrects memories of Tokyo's hidden war-torn past, bags the Golden Peacock. And in the Kanpur Cricket Test, India declared their second innings at 234 for 7 on day 4, setting a massive 284-run target for New Zealand. As India created history by administering over 100 crore vaccine doses against COVID-19, All India Radio salutes all the doctors, nurses, other frontline workers and all those who got vaccinated and made this possible. Even though the country has achieved this feat, we caution our listeners that the battle against COVID is not yet over. We appeal to our listeners to get fully vaccinated at the earliest and also help others get vaccinated. During the festival season, please follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki doori for social distancing, and focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact the national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now, the news in detail. The Government of India said it will review the decision on restarting international flights and SOPs for incoming passengers amid emergence of the new COVID variant Omicron. Home Secretary Ajay Kumar Bhalla chaired an urgent meeting on the new COVID variant of concern, Omicron. The meeting was held after Prime Minister Narendra Modi chaired a high-level review meeting on Saturday on the new COVID variant. Sunday's meeting was held with various experts which included Member Health in Niti Aayog Dr. V.K. Paul, Principal Scientific Advisor to the Prime Minister Dr. Vijay Raghavan and senior officers from Health, Civil Aviation and other ministries. The overall global situation in wake of the Omicron virus was comprehensively reviewed and various preventive measures were discussed. It was decided that the Government of India will review the standard operating procedure on testing and surveillance of the incoming international passengers, especially for those countries identified at risk category. Genomic surveillance for variants will be further strengthened and intensified. The airport health officials and the port health officials will be sensitized for strict supervision of the testing protocol at the airports and the ports. The decision on the effective date of the resumption of the scheduled commercial international passenger service will be reviewed as per the evolving global scenario. The Home Ministry said a closer watch on the emerging pandemic situation within the country will be maintained. India's Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan has written to all the states and the union territories of the country over the Omicron variant of COVID-19, asking them to enforce intensive containment and active surveillance measures and also increase the coverage of the vaccination. The government said it is essential that the disease surveillance network in the country is geared up for a rigorous follow-up of all the international travellers from all the countries, especially the countries designated to be at risk. We spoke to Dr. N.K. Arora, Chairman of the COVID-19 Working Group of the National Technical Advisory on Immunization regarding India's preparedness in the wake of the new COVID variant Omicron.
What preventive steps India has taken? It is important that this virus, if it enters into our country, it should be recognized quickly. Unfortunately, the symptoms due to this virus as well as the old virus are very similar, so you cannot differentiate. So RT-PCR positivity also is similar. But once RT-PCR positivity is there, you have to do genomic surveillance and genomic sequencing. That means complete analysis of the structure of the virus, which is done in very skilled and high-end laboratories in the country called INSACOG. The second thing which has been done is that preparations have been done across the country to see that if there is a localized outbreak of extra cases, they are immediately picked up and genomic analysis is done in case if this new variant is there. Third, that hospital beds and the hospital systems are ready to accept any additional load of sick patients in case these patients become sick or require hospitalization. Here I would like to mention that in this country, every district hospital has now oxygen plant, and any nursing home above the 50-bed or 100-bed strength have to have an oxygen plant. So we have learned a lot from the second wave. Now, finally, what additional things are being done is that immunization is being pushed so that everybody gets immunized, because that is the key armamentarium with us, the key weapon with us, so that we can prevent us. So those who have not received vaccine, they should go quickly and get the vaccine. Second, those who have got only one dose, they should get the second dose as soon as it becomes due. And so the overall system has been, the Honorable Prime Minister took the meeting yesterday, and system has been put on fast forward so that we are not left with any surprise.
New cases of the Omicron coronavirus variant have been detected around the world, with 2 cases reported in Australia, and more countries try to seal themselves off by imposing travel restrictions. First discovered in South Africa, Omicron has since been recorded in Belgium, Botswana, Germany, Hong Kong, Israel, Italy, and the United Kingdom. Austria was investigating a suspected case today, and in France, Health Minister Olivier Véran said Omicron was probably already there. The discovery of Omicron, dubbed a variant of concern on Friday by the World Health Organization, sparked worries that it could resist vaccines and prolong the nearly 2-year COVID pandemic. Countries have imposed a wave of travel bans or curbs on southern Africa. Israel announced late on Saturday it would ban the entry of all foreigners and reintroduce counterterrorism phone tracking technology to contain the spread of the variant. Britain's government has defended the pace and scale of its response to the new Omicron strain of COVID-19. From Tuesday, all passengers arriving in Britain are being instructed to take a PCR test for COVID-19 and self-isolate until they register negative. Meanwhile, in Netherlands, health authorities say they have detected 61 COVID-19 cases among people who flew in from South Africa, and they believe some of the infections are of the new Omicron variant. In a statement, the Dutch health authority said that the cases were discovered among 624 passengers who arrived at Amsterdam's Schiphol airport on 2 flights on Friday. Restrictions to public life to curb coronavirus infections have sparked opposition in Switzerland. Bahrain, Saudi Arabia and Sudan have suspended flights with a number of African countries due to Omicron. Saudi's Interior Ministry said direct flights with Angola, Comoros, Madagascar, Malawi, Mauritius, Seychelles and Zambia had been suspended. The National Technical Advisory Committee, NTAC, on COVID in Bangladesh has recommended a travel ban on countries from which cases of the new variant Omicron have been reported. People with a recent travel history to these countries should be kept under a 14-day institutional quarantine on arrival in Bangladesh. The NTAC recommended strengthening of screening at all gateways, including air, land and waterways, and limiting the public gatherings in view of the new variant. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has asserted that India is leading in the world of startups today, and startups are getting record investment year after year. Addressing the nation through his Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio on Sunday, he added that the sector is progressing very fast and its reach has increased even in small towns of the country. The Prime Minister spoke about unicorns and explained that a unicorn is a startup whose valuation is at least $1 billion, that is more than about 7,000 crore rupees.
साल 2015 तक देश में बमुश्किल 9 या 10 यूनिकॉर्न हुआ करते थे। आपको ये जानकर बेहद खुशी होगी कि अब यूनिकॉर्न्स की दुनिया में भी भारत तेज उड़ान भर रहा है। एक रिपोर्ट के मुताबिक इसी साल एक बड़ा बदलाव आया है। सिर्फ 10 महीनों में ही भारत में हर 10 दिन में एक यूनिकॉर्न बना है। ये इसलिए भी बड़ी बात है क्योंकि हमारे युवाओं ने ये सफलता कोरोना महामारी के बीच हासिल की है। आज भारत में 70 से अधिक यूनिकॉर्न हो चुके हैं, यानी 70 से अधिक स्टार्टअप ऐसे हैं जो 1 बिलियन से ज्यादा के वैल्यूएशन को पार कर गए हैं।
Mr. Modi said the resonance of Amrit Mahotsav has spread throughout the country, from panchayats to the parliament. Mr. Modi expressed happiness that programs in connection with the Mahotsav are going on successfully. The Prime Minister said Navy Day and Armed Forces Flag Day are celebrated in December and added that on the 16th of December, India will also celebrate the Golden Jubilee of the 1971 war. He remembered the country's armed forces and brave hearts.
इसी महीने नेवी डे और आर्म्ड फोर्सेस फ्लैग डे भी देश मनाता है। हम सबको मालूम है 16 दिसंबर को 1971 के युद्ध का स्वर्णिम जयंती वर्ष भी देश मना रहा है। मैं इन सभी अवसरों पर देश के सुरक्षा बलों का स्मरण करता हूं, हमारे वीरों का स्मरण करता हूं और विशेष रूप से ऐसे वीरों को जन्म देने वाली वीर माताओं का स्मरण करता हूं।
Prime Minister Modi cautioned people that COVID-19 has not gone yet. He said it is the responsibility of everyone to take all precautions to curb the spread of COVID. This is All India Radio giving you the world news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
Welcome back to the world news. And curtains came down on the 52nd International Film Festival of India in Goa on Sunday evening with a glittering closing ceremony. Some of the most prominent names from the Indian cinema, including Madhuri Dixit, Manoj Bajpayee and Randhir Kapoor, were in attendance at the ceremony. The star-studded musical extravaganza heralded 9 days of films and events. Films in various categories were showcased and numerous artists were honored. In today's Hotspot section, we bring a special program on IFFI for our listeners.
Sun, sand, sea and cinema. These are the 4 elements that set the International Film Festival of India apart as one of the most prestigious film festivals of the world. Goa, which has played the role of a generous host to the festival, has drawn crowds from around the world over the years, and this year was no different. IFFI is Asia's oldest and India's biggest international film festival. The festival aims at providing a common platform for the cinemas of the world to project the excellence of the film art. The first edition of IFFI was held in Mumbai in 1952. In all, it had around 40 features and 100 short films. The first edition was non-competitive, which had 23 countries, including the United States, participating with 40 feature films and about 100 short films. This was the first international film festival held anywhere in Asia. From the third edition in January in 1965, IFFI became competitive. It was chaired by the world-renowned filmmaker Satyajit Ray then. It was graded A category by the Paris-based Fédération Internationale de Producteurs de Films. With this recognition, the festival in India came on par with Cannes, Berlin, Venice, Karlovy Vary and Moscow International Film Festivals. Following this recognition, India adopted at its 5th festival in 1975 a permanent insignia. This comprises a representation of the peacock, India's national bird, with a permanent motto of the festival Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which means the whole world is a family. In its 35th edition in 2004, IFFI became globally competitive and moved its permanent venue to Goa. The 52nd edition of IFFI was held in a hybrid format owing to the COVID pandemic. However, the pandemic did not dampen the spirits of the film enthusiasts as they thronged the film screens to watch and enjoy what IFFI has on offer. The 52nd edition of IFFI got off to a glitzy start. On the 20th of November, people braved the inclement weather with heavy rains lashing Goa to make it to the Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Indoor Stadium in Talegaon. Some of the biggest names in the Indian and global cinema industry were present at the occasion. The opening ceremony was anchored by Padma Shri awardee and renowned filmmaker Karan Johar and actor Manish Paul. The celebration started with the traditional lighting of the lamp. The 52nd edition of IFFI also celebrates 75 years of India's independence and 60 years of liberation of Goa. Speaking at the ceremony, the Chief Minister of Goa, Pramod Sawant, and Secretary of the Information and Broadcasting Ministry, Apurva Chandra, said that India's achievement of administering a record number of vaccine doses has allowed the people to enjoy this celebration of cinema. The newly instituted Satyajit Ray Lifetime Achievement Award this year was awarded to acclaimed Hungarian filmmaker Istvan Szabó. Satyajit Ray is a name etched in golden letters in the history of cinema. The genius filmmaker has inspired legends from across generations and continues to do so even today. The year 2021 is the centenary year of the master craftsman and the legendary filmmaker. Some of his best movies were screened at the 52nd IFFI in Goa. Ray's first film, Pather Panchali, won 11 international prizes, including the inaugural Best Human Document Award at the 1956 Cannes Film Festival. This film, along with Aparajito and Apur Sansar, The World of Apu, formed the Apu trilogy. Speaking about the film, Martin Scorsese termed the film as an inspiration to him. He referred to Ray as one of his masters in his video message while receiving the Satyajit Ray Lifetime Achievement Award on the opening day of the festival. He also alluded to the unmistakable tune of the sitar used in the background score of the film. Ray had an uncanny knack for bringing the mundane trials and tribulations to life through his cinematography. To achieve this effect, he relied heavily on the element of music to breathe life and vigor into the pictures on screen. Let us listen to a rare interview of the filmmaker from the archives of India's public broadcaster Doordarshan on this topic.
When you are doing a thing which is concerned with the contemporary urban society, you can't use conventional classical Indian music instruments like the sitar and so on. They just don't go with the theme. So I decided to use a combination of Western and Eastern instruments. And I had always been interested in Western music, and I was also familiar with the Western style of notation. So I decided, and since I was getting too many ideas of my own, it's not always very satisfactory to have to dictate great musicians like Vilayat Khan and Ali Akbar. And it threatened our friendship on a personal level, so I decided to do it on my own. And now more and more I use less and less music, I find, because I can use the mixing facilities have improved, and I can use a more creative soundtrack whereby one can use actual sounds almost as you use music to suggest moods and things like that.
24 days before his death, Ray was presented with an honorary Academy Award by Audrey Hepburn via video link. In his acceptance speech, he called it the best achievement of his movie-making career.
This year, the Academy Board of Governors has voted to award an honorary Oscar to the great Indian filmmaker Satyajit Ray.
Well, it's an extraordinary experience for me to be here tonight to receive this magnificent award. Certainly the best achievement of my movie-making career.
The 52nd IFFI has quite rightly honored the filmmaker maestro by instituting its Lifetime Achievement Award in Satyajit Ray's name. Ray's work continues to inspire budding filmmakers from around the world. His movies have a timeless character to them as they speak to the most fundamental of human emotions and social realities. The Gen Next of cinema had all the more reason to cheer this year at IFFI. One of the highlights of this year's IFFI was that 75 of the brightest young cinematic minds from across India participated in the 75 Creative Minds of Tomorrow competition. The 52nd IFFI played host to all the 75 budding filmmakers. The initiative aimed to provide a platform for the youngsters to engage with eminent filmmakers and industry leaders from around the world and learn the tricks of the trade. Speaking at the launch of the competition at the opening ceremony of IFFI, Minister of I&B Anurag Thakur talked about the significance of the initiative.
For the first time ever, we are recognizing and mentoring promising young talents through 75 Young Creative Minds of Tomorrow program being done as we mark 75th year of independence. They have been chosen by the grand jury and the select jury after a meticulous screening process. They are seated amongst us and will be attending master classes by the icons of cinema. The youngest selected candidate is just 16 years old, and we have talent represented from Kadapa from Andhra Pradesh, Hazaribagh Jharkhand, Dindigul Tamil Nadu, Allapura Kerala, Rangareddy Telangana, Imphal Manipur, and so on. These are the small city and towns of India from where we have selected these 75 young creative minds of tomorrow.
The minister also outlined the government's progressive and ambitious vision for IFFI.
Our vision is not limited to the event of IFFI. They should not be taken as a standalone event. I think we have more to offer. But what IFFI should be when India celebrates the 100th year of independence?
The grand jury featured household names such as Prasoon Joshi, Oscar-winning sound engineer Rasool Pukuti, director Ketan Mehta, musician Shankar Mahadevan, among others. The competition was being held under the aegis of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, which is celebrating 75 years of India's independence. The youngest of the lot, 16-year-old Aryan Kumar, a class 11 student from Bihar, spoke about how his interest in films grew over the years.
मेरा नाम आर्यन हुआ और मैं पटना से हूँ और मैं क्लास 11th का स्टूडेंट हूँ। फिल्म मेकिंग मैंने क्लास 7th में था, तब से ही मैंने फिल्म मेकिंग शुरू कर दिया था। बिहार में एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है चिलकारी बिहार बाल भवन, तो उन लोगों ने एक वर्कशॉप ऑर्गेनाइज करवाया था FTIA के कोलैबोरेशन से, जिसमें FTI के एक फैकल्टी आए थे और उन्होंने 10 दिन का वर्कशॉप लिया। उसके पहले फिल्म मेकिंग क्या होता है कुछ नहीं पता था मुझे, और उस 10 दिन के वर्कशॉप में मैंने फिल्म मेकिंग सीखा। थ्योरी पार्ट था, बेसिकली वो थ्योरी बेस्ड था, लेकिन उसके बाद मुझे फिल्म मेकिंग में बहुत ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट हो गया। तो उसके बाद फिर से मैंने काम करना शुरू किया और अभी तक मैंने शॉर्ट फिल्म 15 या 20 बना ली है, और जिसमें से बहुत सारे फिल्म्स जो है नेशनल और इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे भी सिलेक्ट हुए हैं।
The festival draws cine enthusiasts from all over the country. The streets of Panaji were dotted with people flaunting their IFFI 52 merchandise. All good things necessarily must come to an end. This was to be the case with this year's IFFI as well. However, the closing ceremony of IFFI brought an explosion of color and life at the Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Stadium in Talegaon, Goa. Some of the most glittering names of the Indian silver screen, including Madhuri Dixit, National Award winner Manoj Bajpayee, veteran film actor Randhir Kapoor, were in attendance at the festival. The closing ceremony was anchored by Sameer Kochhar. Film personalities, dignitaries and the Goan public who made their presence felt in good strength provided an effervescent atmosphere to the festival. Family man Manoj Bajpayee took the stage to rapturous applause from the audience. The incredibly talented actor said that IFFI is a major force for emerging films and filmmakers. Guest of honor actor Madhuri Dixit said that making a film takes months if not years to create. She emphasized the role of women in the world of cinema. She added that IFFI has provided a platform for female creators, writers and actors as they make their mark in the film industry. Speaking on the occasion, the Minister of Information and Broadcasting, Anurag Thakur, said that the festival is a celebration of storytelling and filmmaking. He said that this edition of IFFI was one of many firsts. For the first time, the BRICS Film Festival was hosted. OTT platforms participated and 75 creative young minds of cinema were felicitated at IFFI.
At the 52nd IFFI, we had the presence and enthusiastic participation of OTT platforms for the first time. IFFI has embraced new technology, the platform choices of audiences, and kept pace with the changing times. We also showcase the best films from the BRICS nations and hope to see this partnership blossom further. In a unique initiative aimed at identifying and nurturing young talent as we celebrate the 75 years of India's independence, we started a program and shortlisted 75 creative minds of tomorrow.
Lyricist and multi-talented film personality Prasoon Joshi was given the Indian Film Personality Award. In his characteristic poetic self, he advised young filmmakers to embrace confusion because it is the most fertile state to be in as it germinates new ideas. Manoj Bajpayee and Hrithik Roshan took master classes during the film festival. Amid the festivities, it is easy to forget that there is a competitive spirit churning underneath among the participants of IFFI. The 6th BRICS Film Festival took place alongside IFFI this year. The 5 emerging economies of the world are also the 5 emerging cinematic powerhouses. 2 films, Barakat from South Africa and The Sun Above Me Never Sets from Russia, shared the honors. The coveted Golden Peacock Award for the best film went to the movie from Japan, Ring Wandering by director Masakazu Kaneko. The Silver Peacock for the best actor male went to Jitendra Joshi for the Marathi drama Godavari of the filmmaker Nikhil Mahajan. Nikhil Mahajan was felicitated at the festival with a special jury award. He shared the award with Brazilian actor Renata Carvalho for The First Fallen. The award in the female category went to Angela Molina for her Paraguay film Charlotte. The special jury mention was given to Roman Vasyanov for his Russian film The Dome. Lingui, The Sacred Bonds, walked away with the ICFT UNESCO Gandhi Award for reflecting UNESCO's values. Sukhwinder Singh dazzled the audience with a scintillating performance. Ramya for World News.
In Kanpur Cricket Test, India were in commanding position against New Zealand at the end of the final session of the fourth day of the first test on Sunday. India declared their second innings at 234 for 7, setting a massive 284-run target for New Zealand on day 4. Chasing the target, New Zealand were 4 for the loss of 1 wicket at stumps. Opener Will Young departed early in the third over, bowled by Ashwin Ramachandran, scoring only 2 runs towards the end of the final session. New Zealand will need 280 runs on the final day with 9 wickets in hand.
And now let us take a look at the major developments around the world as reported in the foreign press. The Globe and Mail says Omicron variant continues to spread with 13 cases detected in the Netherlands. South China Morning Post reports coronavirus Hong Kong, Omicron variant must be kept out of community. Experts say city confirms 3 new cases. Khaleej Times reports COVID-19 variant, UAE Kerala passengers need not undergo 7-day mandatory quarantine. And the Wall Street Journal writes Taliban covert operatives seized Kabul or other Afghan cities from within. And now let us take a look at the headlines once again. India to review the decision on restarting international flights and SOPs for incoming passengers amid emergence of the new COVID variant Omicron. New cases of the Omicron coronavirus variant detected around the world. Prime Minister Narendra Modi asserts India has become a nation of job creators and not just job seekers. Curtains come down on the 52nd International Film Festival of India in Goa. Japanese film Ring Wandering, a film which resurrects memories of Tokyo's hidden war-torn past, bags the Golden Peacock. And in the Kanpur Cricket Test, India declared their second innings at 234 for 7 on day 4, setting a massive 284-run target for New Zealand.
India is celebrating the 152nd birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. Before we end, let us listen to his favorite bhajan, Vaishnavajan, by artists from Japan.
with that, we end this bulletin. We'll be back at the same time tomorrow with the next edition of World News.